Good morning, children. So, this is revision session, The Birth.
Beautiful story. The story Birth is an excerpt from The Citadel. That means it is taken from The Citadel. It relates how a medical fresher handles a child delivery case in a mysterious way and brings back life in a seemingly dead born child. See, that means whatever he does was a miracle. Yes, bringing a dead child back to life is nothing less than a miracle. Jadoo in Hindi we say. Yes. So in doing so, he applies his medical textbook knowledge as well as intuition. Intuition, whatever comes to his mind, his heart, he finds that textbook knowledge alone is not sufficient to handle such cases. Yes, sometimes you have to try out something new also, which may not be mentioned in the textbook. You have to use your own brain, your own mind. He finds that textbook knowledge is not sufficient. So what does he do? We'll see in this story. The story expresses the anxiety and excitement of the doctor, Andrew Manson, and his team. In the beginning of the story, it is narrated how Andrew Manson, who had recently passed out from a medical school, so this man Andrew has just passed out from a medical school, was returning home after a disappointing evening with his girlfriend. That means he's not in a very happy mood. And what is the name of that girl? Christine. It was midnight, and when he reached near his house, he was requested by Joe Morgan to attend to his wife immediately. She was expecting her first child, that too after many, many years. So Andrew agreed to go despite late night. No, doctors, that is the nature of doctor, always willing to help. Here also it is the same. So at the patient's house, Andrew saw that the lady was being attended to by a midwife. Midwife is like a nurse, you know. Mrs. Morgan was very serious. Andrew examined the patient and could understand that it would take some time for the delivery to take place. He took a break. Now what did he do? In this period, Andrew's mind started wavering in stray thoughts. Wavering means, shifting from this point to this point, from this point to that point. Okay, he started thinking about Barnwell, who was foolishly devoted to a woman who deceived him meanly. Then he thought of Edward Page, who was married to the ill-natured Bowden and was now living unhappily. So in his mind, all such things are going on apart from his wife. Andrew thought all marriages were a dismal failure, a very bad failure. In the meantime, Andrew had to go back to attend to the patient. So he had to go to attend to the patient. The subsequent section narrates how, after an hour-long harsh struggle, a child was born towards the dawn early morning, but the child was stillborn. That means no movement. It is a stillborn baby. When Andrew gazed at the lifeless form, that means there is no life in that small child, stillborn. So when Andrew looked at the small boy, the stillborn child, he shivered with horror. Oh my God, he started shaking with horror. Then he looked at the mother. She required immediate medical attention. And because her condition was very serious, Andrew was to decide to whom to attend. Now he's perplexed. Whom to attend? Whether I should first take care of the child or the mother. Both are serious. So he's confused. He's rather confused. Andrew gave the child to the nurse and turned his attention to the mother, who was unconscious. So mother's condition is also serious. Gradually her heart strengthened and Andrew could now leave her to attend to the baby. So her heart started beating. So Andrew understood, now the mother is safe. So it is time for me to attend to the baby, he thought. Andrew asked about the child. The midwife was thoroughly frightened. Taking it as a still child, she had dumped it beneath the bed amongst soaked newspaper. Oh my God, she thought it's a dead child. So what she did, she dumped it under the bed amongst soaked newspaper that was wet. Imagine, the child will die. Andrew pulled out the child. The child was perfectly formed. Andrew could understand that it was a case of suffocation due to lack of oxygen and excess of carbon dioxide in the blood. Okay, because of lack of oxygen, the child was stillborn. Andrew started giving the necessary treatment. Whatever was required, he started doing that. He did not lose heart. The midwife again and again told him that it was a stillborn child. That means it is dead. Why should you do anything about it? But Andrew did not heed. Heed means he did not listen to her. He continued with his treatment. So he thought, no, he did not give up hope. Who did not give up hope? Andrew. After all, he's a doctor. Towards the end of the story, a miracle happened. He rubbed the child with a towel and crushed and relaxed the little chest with both his hands. So that is what he tried to do. Thus, he tried to infuse breath into that limp body, limp that which is still not breathing. The little chest gave a short heave, The child started turning around. It was no longer stillborn. That means the child has started breathing. So at last Andrew heaved a sigh of relief. Why? Because the child has started breathing. It was no longer still. He handed the child to the nurse. He told the entire story to Joe, standing outside, and walked down the street with some miners, with a sense of deep satisfaction that he could achieve something great. Yes, see, why do you think the writer says that he could achieve something great? Yes, a child who's almost like dead, a stillborn child, not breathing at all because of lack of oxygen. So this Dr. Andrew, he did something great. Yes, because he was able to infuse life into a dead child. So bringing a small child alive, back to life, this is nothing but a miracle. It cannot always happen. So he feels so satisfied with himself. He feels that I have achieved something great. At least I was able to save a small baby boy's life. That is the reason he says that I have achieved something great. Though the task was very, very difficult. It was a very difficult task, isn't it? See, the nurse, the midwife had already given up all hopes. That is why she had dumped the child where? Oh my God, under the bed. That too in wet newspapers. The child would have otherwise also died. So the doctor, he thought, let me give it a try. So he tried and he succeeded in that. So it is a beautiful story of infusing life into a stillborn baby. So it is a very beautiful story. Did you like it, children? Yes, very beautiful. So what you are supposed to do, read the story. This is the summary only which I have done. Yes, I will continue in the next sessions also. But before that, what is your assignment? You have to read the story 2 to 3 times, underline the difficult words and write down the meanings. Yes, children, I hope you like the story. This is only the summary, of course. We'll continue in our next session. Thank you and goodbye.